Imagine you are a tiny baby living in a big, quiet building far across the deep blue ocean. You do not have a mommy or a daddy to hold you or sing you to sleep. You are surrounded by many other babies who are also waiting for someone to love them. Then one day, something totally amazing happens. A very famous movie star from Hollywood sees your picture and feels a big spark in her heart. She decides right then and there that she wants to be your mommy. She flies all the way across the world just to pick you up and bring you home. Suddenly, you are not in a small crib anymore. You are in a giant, beautiful house with soft beds, lots of toys, and parents who think you are the most special girl in the world. This is the true story of a girl named Nancy Lee, or Naleigh for short. She went from being a lonely baby in an orphanage to being the daughter of Katherine Heigl, one of the richest actresses in the world. But life as a celebrity kid is not always like a fairy tale. There were hard times when Naleigh didn't want to hug her new mom, scary times when she needed heart surgery, and big changes when the family moved away from the bright lights of Hollywood to a quiet farm in the mountains. Let's look at how Naleigh grew up and see the incredible way she has turned out today at 15 years old. The story starts in the busy city of Seoul, which is the capital of South Korea. It is a place with very tall buildings and millions of people. In the year 2009, a baby girl was born in a hospital there. Her life began in a very sad way because her birth mother left the hospital only one day after the baby was born. In South Korea, there are rules about what happens when a baby is left alone. The police and the government searched for the baby's mother for a whole month. They checked everywhere, but they could not find her. It was very sad because it meant the little girl was all alone in the world with no one to feed her or keep her warm. Because she had no family, the baby was taken to a place called the Namsanwon Orphanage. This was her home for the first 9 months of her life. Imagine being a tiny, fragile baby in a room full of other orphans. The people there were nice, but they were very busy. No one knows who her birth parents were or why they left her. It is still a big mystery today. Those early months were also very tough because Naleigh was born with a congenital heart issue. This means her heart had a problem from the day she was born, and it did not work perfectly. She actually had to have a very big surgery on her heart when she was just a tiny infant. She was a very brave little girl. While Naleigh was living in that orphanage, a famous woman in America was dreaming about her. Her name is Katherine Heigl. You might know her from the TV show Grey's Anatomy, where she played a doctor named Izzy Stevens. Katherine is a superstar who has been in many big movies. Her husband is Josh Kelley, and he is a famous singer who writes his own songs. Katherine and Josh have a very sweet love story. They met in 2005 while they were making a music video for one of Josh's songs called Only You. In the video, Katherine played the girl that Josh was in love with. It turns out they didn't have to pretend very much because they fell in love for real. Josh remembers the day they met perfectly. He says they hit it off right away. They got engaged a year later and had a beautiful wedding in 2007 in Park City, Utah. Right from the start, they knew they wanted to have a family. Katherine said she felt ready to settle down and build a Kelley empire. Even though she was a rich and famous actress, what she wanted most was to be a mother and have a house full of happy children. Katherine Heigl always knew she wanted to adopt a child. Adoption was very important to her because of her own family history. When Katherine was a little girl, her parents adopted a daughter from South Korea. This was Katherine's older sister, Meg. Katherine loved her sister so much that she wanted her own family to look just like the one she grew up in. She and Josh talked about adoption even before they were officially engaged. In 2009, they finally started the process to bring a baby home from South Korea. It took about 9 long months of waiting and paperwork. During that time, Katherine was 31 years old and very famous. She had about $33 million. Even though she could buy anything she wanted, she was very impatient and excited to finally hold her new daughter. She told her husband that it didn't matter how they became parents. She just wanted to be a mom. One day, while Katherine was working on a movie set with the actor Ashton Kutcher, she got a very special phone call. The adoption agency told her and Josh about a baby girl who was born in November, just one day before Katherine's own birthday. They told her about the baby's heart condition and the surgery she had already been through. The doctors wanted Katherine and Josh to take their time and think about it because having a sick baby can be very hard. But Katherine and Josh didn't need to think about it at all. They said, "Look, we want her." They were already in love with her. Josh's father is actually a heart surgeon, so they sent him the baby's medical records right away. He looked at the pictures of her heart and told them that she was going to be perfectly healthy. They were so happy. They finally brought her to the United States and her new life began. Naleigh went from being an unwanted girl in an orphanage to a girl with a mommy, a daddy, and millions of dollars waiting for her in the future. Even though Katherine and Josh were very happy to have Naleigh home, they soon ran into a big problem. Adoption can be tricky because babies don't always understand what is happening. When Naleigh first arrived, she did not want to snuggle with Katherine. She wouldn't smile at her or act like she loved her. This made Katherine feel very sad and heartbroken. She started to worry that she wasn't a good mother. It was even harder because Naleigh seemed to love Josh right away. Naleigh and Josh bonded very fast. Josh would get on the floor and roll around with her to make her laugh. Katherine called him the Disneyland dad because he was always the one making things fun. Katherine wasn't the type of person to roll on the floor, and she felt left out. She realized she was a different kind of parent. She was a cuddler. She liked to hold Naleigh when she was hurt or sleepy. They eventually made up a special bedtime routine with 3 blankets. One blanket went over her, one went by her face, and she held the third one. It became their special thing. Another reason it was hard for Katherine to bond with Naleigh was because of her busy job. Only 3 days after Naleigh arrived from South Korea, Katherine had to go back to work on the set of Grey's Anatomy. She had to spend long days filming scenes with other actors, and she felt terrible about being away from her new baby. She was constantly worried that she was missing important moments and that Naleigh wouldn't grow to love her. She felt like she was spending more time with the actors on set than with her own daughter. However, a social worker told her not to give up. The social worker said that it is normal for adopted children to take a long time to trust a new situation. Katherine kept trying and stayed patient. The big turning point finally happened in 2012. Katherine was on a TV show called The View, and Naleigh was there too. Suddenly, Naleigh ran across the stage and gave Katherine a giant, tight hug. It was a beautiful moment that showed everyone they finally had a very strong bond. Katherine was so happy she almost cried. After they successfully adopted Naleigh, Katherine and Josh decided they wanted their family to grow even more. In 2012, they adopted another baby girl. This time, the baby came from Louisiana in the United States. Her name is Adelaide. Katherine told a talk show host that Adelaide's adoption was a big surprise. At first, they wanted to adopt from South Korea again, but the rules had changed and it was becoming very difficult. They also looked at China, but the waiting list was way too long. Just when they were feeling stuck, they heard about a baby girl in America who needed a home. They jumped at the chance to bring Adelaide into their family. Then, a few years later, something even more surprising happened. In 2017, when Katherine was 39 years old, she found out she was pregnant. She gave birth to a son named Joshua. It was a very exciting time, but it was also a little scary. Baby Joshua had a hard time breathing when he was first born, and the doctors had to give him oxygen right away. Luckily, he pulled through and became a healthy, happy boy. Katherine loved being a mommy to 3 kids, but she also felt very stressed. Balancing a big Hollywood career and taking care of 3 children is very hard work. She often came home feeling frustrated because she felt like she wasn't doing a good enough job at either one. She spoke very honestly about having anxiety attacks, which is when you feel very worried and scared for no reason. She even had back pain because she was so stressed out. Many people think being a celebrity mother is easy, but Katherine wanted people to know the truth. She said that you have no idea how hard it is until you actually do it. At one point, she and Josh thought about having a 4th child. They wondered if they should adopt again or try to have another biological baby. But then the COVID-19 pandemic happened, and everyone had to stay home for a long time. Being stuck inside with 3 kids made Katherine change her mind. She realized she was very happy and content with just her 3 children. Her family felt complete. Because Katherine was tired of the crazy life in Los Angeles, she and Josh made a big decision. They wanted their children to grow up in a place that felt more normal. They didn't want Naleigh, Adelaide, and Joshua to be followed by cameras all the time. So they moved the whole family to a giant ranch in the mountains of Utah. A ranch is like a big farm with lots of land and animals. In Utah, they could have a quiet life away from the chaos of Hollywood. Their ranch is a very busy and fun place. They have 8 dogs, 3 cats, and even chickens, goats, and horses. The kids love living there. They spend their days by the river, skipping rocks across the water and helping to take care of the animals. Katherine loves the peace and calmness of the mountains. She thinks it is the best place for kids to grow up and learn about nature. Naleigh and her siblings are very lucky to have so much space to run and play. Naleigh is now the oldest sister in the house. She has her dad, her mom, a sister, and a little brother. Katherine says that as Naleigh grew up, she became a very smart and witty girl. Witty means she is funny and says clever things. Katherine even calls Naleigh her best buddy. She thinks Naleigh is the coolest person she has ever met. Even though her mom is a famous actress, Naleigh's parents worked very hard to give her a grounded life. Grounded means she knows what is important and doesn't act like she is better than anyone else. They protected her from the pressures of fame. Their home in Utah is a haven, which is a safe place where Naleigh can just be herself. She doesn't have to worry about being a celebrity kid. She can just be a girl who loves her family and her animals. The bond between Naleigh and her parents has only gotten stronger over the years. Even though Katherine tries to keep Naleigh's life private, there have been a few times when Naleigh appeared in public. When she was just 5 years old, she walked on a red carpet for the first time at a movie premiere for a cartoon called The Nut Job. Everyone thought she was adorable. She had a lot of poise, which means she was very calm and acted like a little lady. As she got older, she became more comfortable being in front of people. In 2022, she even went to a talk show with her mom. This time, she didn't walk on stage. She sat in the audience and watched her mom work. She looked very proud. To keep her life normal, Katherine has a very strict rule. Naleigh is not allowed to have her own smartphone yet. In her whole grade at school, she is one of the only kids without a phone. Katherine does this to keep her away from social media like Instagram and TikTok. She wants Naleigh to focus on real life and school instead of worrying about what people are saying online. Education is very important in the Heigl household. Katherine and Josh make sure that Naleigh and her siblings go to the best schools and have every chance to learn. They encourage Naleigh to try new things, like sports, art, or hard school subjects. They want her to be a well-rounded person who is good at many different things. They also teach her that being kind and helping others is the most important thing of all. The family often does charitable activities, which is when you give your time or money to help people or animals in need. They want Naleigh to understand that because she is lucky, she should help people who are not as lucky. This has made Naleigh a very compassionate person who cares about the world. She is learning how to be a leader by following the good example her parents set for her. Now that Naleigh is 15 years old, she is almost an adult. She lives in a giant house in Utah that is worth $4 million. The house is incredible. It has amazing views of the big, snowy mountains. It has a stone garden where she can sit and think, a greenhouse for growing plants, many cozy bedrooms, and beautiful fireplaces to keep them warm in the winter. Naleigh also gets to ride in very fancy cars. Her family has a Range Rover that costs more than $100,000 and a white Audi car that is also very expensive. Even though she lives a very luxury life, she stays humble because of how she was raised. She is navigating her teenage years with the help of her loving family. Her parents are very hands-on, which means they are always there to talk to her and help her with her problems. Katherine's parenting philosophy is very interesting. She wants her daughters to be confident and strong. She doesn't want them to feel like they have to be people pleasers. A people pleaser is someone who always does what other people want just so they will be liked. Katherine wants Naleigh to know that she is valuable and important just for being herself, no matter what anyone else thinks. Katherine also talks to her kids about the digital world. Even though Naleigh doesn't have her own social media, she sometimes sneaks onto her mom's iPad to make funny TikTok videos. Katherine thinks this is funny, but she still stays careful. She wants to make sure her kids are safe from the mean things that can happen on the internet. Naleigh has a strong sense of who she is and where she is going in life. Because Katherine has a multiracial family, she thinks a lot about how to raise her kids. Multiracial means the people in the family come from different backgrounds and have different skin colors. Katherine is white, and Naleigh is Korean. Katherine has spoken very openly about how she wants to prepare her daughters for the real world. She knows that sometimes people can be mean or unfair because of how someone looks. This is called racism. Katherine wants to make sure her kids are ready for those challenges. She makes sure they have an environment where they can talk about their identities and their birth stories. She wants Naleigh to be proud of being Korean and proud of her adoption story. They talk about everything openly, so there are no secrets. Adoption has had a very big impact on Naleigh's life. Katherine often shares sweet photos and stories about Naleigh on her Instagram. For Naleigh's 13th birthday, Katherine posted the very first picture she ever saw of Naleigh when she was a baby in South Korea. It was a very emotional post that showed how much their lives changed the day they met. Their relationship is not just a normal mother-daughter bond. It is built on a huge amount of respect and unconditional love. Unconditional means that no matter what happens, they will always love each other. This strong bond has helped Naleigh handle the pressure of being the daughter of a famous movie star. She knows that at home, she is just Naleigh, and she is loved for exactly who she is. You might wonder if Naleigh has ever gone back to visit the country where she was born. The answer is yes. Katherine has traveled with Naleigh back to South Korea several times. She wants Naleigh to know the culture of her native country. They visit the cities, see the beautiful sights, and learn about the history of Korea. This helps Naleigh feel connected to her roots. Katherine and her own mother, Nancy, also started a special charity called the Jason Davis Heigl Foundation. They started it in 2008 to help animals. They want to stop people from being mean to dogs and cats. They do this to honor the memory of Katherine's brother, Jason, who died when he was young. Katherine is a person who tries to turn her sad experiences into something good for the world. Looking at Naleigh's story makes you realize how much one person's life can change. She started as a baby that no one wanted in a faraway country, but because of adoption, she found a life full of love, adventure, and happiness. She survived heart surgery and moved across the world to become part of a family that thinks she is a treasure. Today, she is a confident 15-year-old girl living on a beautiful ranch with horses and dogs. She is smart, she is kind, and she has a very bright future ahead of her. Katherine Heigl and Kelley did a great job of raising her. They showed that love doesn't just come from DNA, it comes from the heart. Naleigh is a perfect example of how a little girl can grow and change when she has a family that never gives up on her. Naleigh is a true inspiration for many people. Her life shows that even if things start out in a sad way, they can end up in a very happy way. She's a reminder that everyone deserves to have a family and a place to call home. Whether she is skipping rocks in a river in Utah or visiting a city in South Korea, Naleigh knows she is loved. As she gets older and starts her own life, she will carry the lessons her parents taught her. She will be a strong, confident woman who cares about others. The world is waiting to see what Naleigh will do next, and we are sure it will be something wonderful. She has turned out to be a big-hearted, compassionate, and very smart girl, just like her mommy said. Katherine Heigl's journey as a mother has been very special. She shows us that being a parent is about more than just being famous or having money. It is about the quiet moments, like tucking your child in with 3 blankets or taking care of chickens together on a farm. It is about staying patient when things are hard and always being there to give a hug. Katherine's decision to adopt Naleigh changed both of their lives forever. It brought them so much purpose and meaning. Boundless, eternal love is what Katherine feels for her daughter, and that is the greatest gift of all. Naleigh's story is a beautiful reminder of the power of family and the magic of a mother's love. If you are thinking about adoption or just love a good story about family, Naleigh's life is a great one to remember. It teaches us that every child has a unique path and that every family is special in its own way. Naleigh has grown from a fragile baby into a striking young adult. She is poised, smart, and ready for whatever comes next. Her parents are very proud of her, and the whole world is happy to see her doing so well. We hope you enjoyed learning about Naleigh's incredible journey from South Korea to the mountains of Utah. She truly is a very big-hearted and special little girl who has grown into an amazing teenager. As Naleigh moves forward into her adult life, she will always have the support of her big family. She has a sister and a brother to play with, a dad who makes her laugh, and a mom who snuggles her when she is tired. She has a safe home and a heart that is full of love. Her story is far from over, and it will be exciting to see where her path leads her. Maybe she will be a movie star like her mom, or a singer like her dad, or maybe she will do something completely different. Whatever she chooses, we know she will do it with kindness and compassion. That is the true legacy of the Heigl-Kelley family. Thank you for spending time with us today and diving into the heartwarming story of Nancy Lee Kelley. It is stories like this that remind us of all the good things in the world. Families come in all shapes and sizes, and adoption is a beautiful way to bring people together. Naleigh's life is a testament to the fact that every child deserves a chance to shine. We are so glad to see her thriving and living her best life on that beautiful ranch in Utah. Make sure to keep an eye out for more stories like this on our channel. We love sharing these inspiring journeys with you. Now, as we finish, let's take one last look at how far Naleigh has come. From an orphanage in Seoul to a multi-million-dollar ranch in the USA, her life has been a whirlwind of change. She has faced health problems and bonding struggles, but she has come out stronger on the other side. She is a confident, well-educated, and compassionate young woman. Her parents' philosophy of focusing on family and a quiet life has clearly paid off. Naleigh is a shining example of what happens when a child is given the love and support they need to succeed. We wish her and her entire family all the happiness in the world. Naleigh's story is one of the best examples of how love can bridge any distance. Whether it is the thousands of miles between South Korea and America, or the emotional distance between a new mother and her child, love finds a way. Katherine Heigl's bravery in sharing her struggles and her joys has inspired many people to think about adoption in a new way. And Naleigh herself, with her poise and her big heart, has shown that she is more than just a celebrity's daughter. She is an individual with her own voice and her own story to tell. We are honored to have been able to tell a part of that story today. In the end, it is the simple things that matter most. The ritual of the 3 blankets, the fun of skipping rocks, and the unconditional support of a family. Naleigh's life is a reminder to all of us to cherish those small moments and to always be kind to one another. Life is a journey full of surprises, and Naleigh's journey has been one of the most beautiful ones we have ever seen. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into her life and the philosophy of the Heigl household. It truly is a story of boundless, eternal love that radiates from the core of their beings. As we say goodbye to Naleigh's story for today, remember that every person you meet has their own unique background and their own set of challenges. Just like Naleigh, we all have the potential to grow, transform, and become the best version of ourselves. With love, support, and a little bit of bravery, anything is possible. Thank you for watching and for being part of our community. We really appreciate your time and your interest in these informative and interesting stories. Don't forget to check out our other videos for more content just like this. We will see you in the next one. The story of Naleigh is a beautiful chapter in the big book of life. It shows us that home is not just a place, but a feeling of being loved and accepted. Naleigh found her home with Katherine and Josh, and they found their purpose with her. It is a wonderful exchange of love that has made all of their lives better. We are so happy to see how well she has turned out. From a fragile baby with a heart problem to a striking and confident teenager, Naleigh's transformation is truly something to celebrate. Have a wonderful day, and remember to hold your loved ones close. The Heigl-Kelley family's move to Utah was a big part of Naleigh's success. It gave her the room to breathe and the privacy to grow up away from the prying eyes of the world. It allowed her to build real connections with her siblings and her parents. And most importantly, it gave her a childhood full of nature, animals, and simple joys. This decision shows how much Katherine and Josh value their children's well-being over their own fame. It is a lesson in parenting that many people can learn from. Naleigh's life is a reflection of that wise and loving choice. Finally, we want to hear from you. What part of Naleigh's story touched your heart the most? Was it her brave fight after heart surgery, or the beautiful moment when she finally hugged her mom on TV? Maybe it was the funny story about her sneaking onto her mom's iPad for TikTok. Whatever it was, please let us know in the comments below. We love reading your thoughts and having a conversation about these amazing families. Your support is what keeps us making these videos, so thank you for being such a great audience. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing stories. So as we close the curtain on Naleigh's story for now, we leave you with this thought. Love is the most powerful force in the world. It can change a child's fate, heal a broken heart, and build a beautiful family from nothing. Naleigh's journey is a shining light of that power. She is a striking example of growth, transformation, and the incredible impact of a mother's love. We hope her story stays with you and reminds you of the magic that happens when we open our hearts to one another. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more incredible stories from our channel.